December 8th, 2025. Welcome to This Week in Waukesha, the podcast series, a civic media production in cooperation with WAUK Radio. I am your host, Downtown Donnie Browne, coming to you from the office of former Alderman Don Paul Browne in our beloved Banting Park home. I am joined, as always, by the mighty Max Martinson, our incredibly talented producer, working out of his luxurious Cream City home close to the MATC campus. And we are honored with the holiday season coming and all the holiday happenings in downtown to have one of the great masters of holiday ceremony, the owner of Mia's, the uh, incomparable Beau Blask. Beau, thanks for joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Such kind words. Thank you so much.
You bet. And I see you've added a mustache to the
I did.
look, the brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost a bet, and
So
now it's there for a
what
while.
was what was the bet? Were you rooting for the Bears or what?
I must have. I couldn't tell you, but now I got to keep it on for the next 6 months. So
Six
there we
months.
go.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
You got
embracing it.
make it a handlebar, man. Like really
Uh,
go let it no.
yeah, we'll let
You
it
could
become something of its own.
you could pull it off, man. Seriously.
I think so. Yeah, it's actually working
Yeah.
out pretty well.
Good. So anyway, well, one of the things I'm excited to talk to you about, Beau, is I believe this would be is it your second or third annual Festivus celebration
Oh, it's
coming
our
up?
yeah, it's our well, technically it's our fourth party, but it's probably I think
The
the third
third.
Festivus official party because our
Yeah.
first year we didn't have a name for it yet.
And
So
for
uh,
those of you who aren't familiar with the holiday made famous by Seinfeld,
yeah.
um, Festivus is a Festivus for the rest of us, a holiday for the rest of us that have um, lived through the stress of the holiday season and have maybe wrestled with other customers over toys to get for your kid, and it includes an airing of grievances and
Absolutely.
feats of strength. Around
Definitely.
in lieu of a tree, it's a Festivus pole. It is a metal rod, right? And
Yep, that's right.
guess where you get your Festivus pole from? Guess where they're made?
Right here in Milwaukee.
Right here in Milwaukee. So
Right
it
here in
all
Milwaukee. You
started
can't
with
beat that.
a sitcom about four neurotic friends in Manhattan. Um, but the someone got smart and manufactured the Festivus poles here in Milwaukee. So that's great. Only in
Yeah.
Milwaukee. So but Festivus and Mia's has a little bit a different flavor to it, wouldn't you say? Or what how would you describe it compared to other Festivus offerings?
I think it's definitely become a mind of its own. We do give the opportunity for airing of grievances. There's a small intermission in kind of halfway through the event where the microphone will be on and
I got
to
a
your
hundred
own
problems with you
devices.
people.
Oh yeah, and you're going to hear about it. And we have live music. We have a huge holiday spread, and of course a cash bar. And so it becomes quite an ordeal. And we have just a short window of time to feed a lot of people. And I think last year we ended up doing, I think it was close to 280 people in 3 hours. And we actually
Wow.
ran out of food within the first 2 hours, and we had purchased enough, but that turned out great. And then I think this year, hopefully I purchased enough this year again.
So
But our goal is always to run out of food because then we know
okay.
we did it properly. But we'll
So it's
have
like a
another.
buffet then?
Yep, just kind of grab a plate, serve yourself, grab two plates. I don't know, grab a few plates.
Yeah.
There's really no expectation of a bill, and I'll be helming the
Wow.
bar, and and my friends and staff will be supporting me and on making sure that it runs smoothly. But this is, our fourth year. The last bees will be playing just like years in the past, and it's
Oh
kind of become
yeah,
a
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Nice.
Ian Ash and the Last
Good.
Bees, which Waukesha native,
Yeah, yeah,
has kind of made
good
it
man.
a tradition now to kind
Yeah.
of come out every year and host this event for us, and they do such a great job. And we don't
Oh
have tons
good.
of space, and so they managed to put a
Yeah.
four-piece band crammed into my corner of the restaurant, but they
Nice.
fill it with sound and music, and we appreciate that. So it's always a good time had by all. And now for the first time ever this year, which is the first step, is inviting your friends to dinner. And so
Yeah.
a week before Festivus on December
Right.
15th, which is now a sold out event,
Yeah.
we do have our tabled event,
Okay.
which has been a huge success for us. It's hit kind of widestream media with not only like local newspapers and even Fox 6, but
Yeah.
has been sold out our past 11 events
Sure.
completely, which
Wow.
Absolutely stunning. So
Yeah, yeah,
super excited about that. And then of course there's all of next year that we're planning for as well.
sure. Wow, that's great. Do we mention the date for this year's Festivus?
Yeah, so Festivus is the tabled event is on the 15th, and then Festivus, which is properly on December 23rd, and that's a Tuesday. It's at 5 p.m. and it goes to about 8 p.m. or at least until I
Okay.
start kicking people out.
So it's almost like Hanukkah Festivus, right? But 2 nights instead of 8 crazy nights.
Correct, correct.
Wow.
Well, thank God
Okay.
for that. I wouldn't be able to survive.
So I'm trying to think the date. So the 15th is that's a Monday, isn't it?
Yep. So we do all of our tabled
And
events
you're
are
normally
always on a
closed on
Monday.
Mondays, right?
That's right.
Except for
And
your
then
private parties. Yeah. So
and then Tuesdays we do usually we do carry out
okay,
specials
that's right.
on
Yeah.
Tuesdays. It's just me and my father on those days.
Yeah.
And so we're like, well, that'd be a great day to tear the restaurant up and
Yeah.
throw a party, you know. And then usually we do our own um, party for staff and stuff all the way in January. So
Oh, nice. That's great.
yeah, yeah,
I love that. So terrific. Now, one big success in 2025 for me is that I believe has been a huge success has been your monthly private dinners, themed dinners. And
yeah.
my wife and I had the great fortune of participating in a few of them. I was actually on my, it was a birthday present. It was the Bob Ross night,
Oh,
which
that
was
was a
really
crazy
fun.
one, wasn't it? Yeah, we definitely did some really
And then we
new,
did
interesting stuff on that one. Yeah.
it was right around, it was near 4th of July. So it was like an American Revolution theme that
Oh,
was
that's
rather
right. Yep.
clever.
It was called We the People, and we took
For the people.
recipes from
Yep.
a 1800s recipe book and
And
brought them to life.
what the Congress was eating there, including some
Yeah.
rabbit. I thought that was
Yep.
great. And what was it like Parmesan ice cream?
That's right. We
Like a
made
really
Parmesan ice
tasty.
cream,
Yeah,
and
it
at
was great.
17 different steps. It was, but it tasted all right. I thought it was pretty good.
And then I was especially partial to the Casablanca one in September, I think that was, or
That's
August.
right. That sounds about right because
Yeah,
oh god, they're all kind of running together. That's Casablanca, and then it went. I couldn't tell you.
that
And
was one of my
Casablanca,
favorite
then the
movies. So
Salem witch trials was October.
okay, yeah.
Um, and then your the Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving, obviously November.
Oh, how
And of
fun.
course, Festivus will always be there every year now. So you'll
Okay.
always expect that tabled event to be uh, in
Oh, so this is
December.
like a private tabled event for the 15th where people got to call in and
Yep.
reserve a table.
So
So you can,
and of
okay,
course that's sold out
all
as
right.
well.
Are there any openings left or no?
No, that's sold out
Okay,
pretty quick. And
fair enough.
then
Well, we'll look
we are
forward to
planning.
seeing you on the 23rd then.
Yeah, we have everything already planned out for next year. We are taking a break in January, kind of give my staff a little bit of break, and then also
Yeah,
train some new staff on some of the techniques that we use in these events.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it is very nth degree culinary
yeah.
uh, attention, if you are focused. So that's good that you're doing that. And another interesting wrinkle, though, is that I know there's at least one other restaurant that has adopted this monthly private dinner thing. I believe it was our friends over at Tufty's. Have there been
Sure.
any others that have kind of mimicked your concept?
No, I have a pretty difficult concept
Yeah,
where. I mean, the food is focused, but we put a lot of energy on the showmanship,
sure.
on um, the singularity on the story.
Yeah,
But we really drive that pretty hard, and then the food is kind of secondary to that. Also with themed cocktails. You know, you mentioned
yeah.
the Bob Ross event, which is great, but
Oh, the cocktails.
we
Yeah.
kind of have like a sub theme to everything where we need to kind of match what we're doing. So
It's
in the
over the
Bob Ross
top.
event,
Yeah,
every like every cocktail changed colors.
yeah. For Bob
I know
Ross,
there
yeah.
was yeah, I know
And
there
I
was one
loved
that
when
you got
you
to kind
had
of put it together.
you had kind of the art, the swatch board with the
Yeah,
different
for the
you had
pasta flight, and
little
then you had to kind
pastas,
of
and the tubes had different pasta sauce, and that was really fun.
yeah, and so we try that. Whereas Tofty's, and actually, because I had to do my investigating, had to
Yeah,
make
seasoning and
sure.
spice. Yeah,
Tofty does a great job. They're a little
yeah,
bit different.
sure.
I actually really like what they're doing over there. I believe they do
Yeah.
it every 2 months.
Oh, okay.
So they're not every month, but I think I could be wrong, but they're every 2 months, and they are not themed per se, but they
Sure.
are definitely on the upscale, more of a
Yeah.
fancy fine dining
Oh, yeah.
aspect, small plate tapas type thing,
Yep.
which is something that they do really well. And so
Yeah.
they kind of have captured a different part of that market. And so usually a
Yeah.
lot of times when they do their things, it doesn't interrupt any kind of operation that we're doing. So
No, no. But then again, I
yeah.
think it's an ode to you that you kind of came up with this and had demonstrated some success. And
Definitely.
others wanted to
I
follow. Yeah.
am tempted to say actually they were doing theirs before I even attempted mine.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I think they started. Uh, I don't know. I think they started maybe a year before I even came up.
Oh, really?
I'd
Okay.
say.
Yeah,
I
I'd
could
found
be
out
wrong,
about
but
them
I
after.
think I read that somewhere in an
Okay,
article by the Freeman that said it, and it looked like a year in advance. I was like,
maybe,
oh,
yeah.
well, yeah,
I found out after the fact, and I just thought that it was like they saw what you were doing and decided to, jump all over it. But I mean,
I wouldn't blame them.
that's a fantastic concept, and it's just great. It's a real, and I remember being in that business for a long time. It actually was a great thing to have a friendly competitor because
Definitely. Yeah, it's a proof of concept.
if
Yeah.
you were busy, your customers could just walk over there and see if they, and vice versa,
Yep.
or excuse me, they're done eating at Toffee's and they decide, well, let's go to Mia's for an after dinner cocktail. Or it's just having a
Yeah.
really robust scene is good for business with a lot of different concepts.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. That's why I'm
yeah,
not upset when people try to copy my garlic bread. It's
there you
just
go.
proof of concept to me.
You'll be pleased to know my previous guest was telling me he didn't want to. He was my successor in the council, Alderman Mike Christine, first district, and he didn't want to give out names or show favoritism. But he mentioned there's a place he likes to go to for garlic bread. I'm like, oh, Mia's. He's like, oh shoot. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'll let you know both. And guess what my next guest is? So I thought
Yeah.
you'd want to hear that from the right honorable gentleman from the first
Perfect.
aldermanic district. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, what any special plans for you and your family during the holidays that if you'll have some time, if you'll give yourself some time off?
Uh, unfortunately, my business there isn't a ton of time off,
You
and
close for
I
Christmas Day anyway, right?
yeah, we are
Yep.
closed for Christmas Day. We'll be closed for December 24th. We do have a really big deal going on for the December 24th yearly pickup that we do for our holiday
Oh,
um,
nice.
stuff. So that's going on right now. That actually closes on the 20th, and you have
Okay,
to pre-order those. If you take a look at my website or if you go on my
we'll have to
Facebook, you
do
can kind of
that.
see what
Yeah,
that is.
sure.
Essentially, what it is a large pan of lasagna, a large salad, and 12 garlic breads, which
Wow,
is a $220 value, marked down all the way to $159, and it feeds
yeah,
20 people. And
wow,
it's a great process. It's pretty much a one fee, one pickup, and I only have 30 spots available and very limited
sure.
time to put those together. So we're hoping,
Wow.
um, you know, that
30
people take
spots as
advantage
of
of that.
now, or is it less than that as we speak?
There's actually less than that. I only
Okay,
slotted 30, just
okay,
because on the pure volume and the workload that
yeah.
those lasagnas take, it can be quite exhaustive.
But
But
what a convenience, though, if someone has a lot of family over. I mean, that's money well
definitely, we're
spent.
able to
And
feed a lot of people
yeah,
really quickly, and I
wow,
mean, lasagna put us on the map. So who doesn't love that? So, but as
yeah,
far as me, I'll be able to spend some time with my family. I know my
yeah,
father. Everybody expects me to cook, but no.
yeah.
During the holidays, my father cooks, and he does a great job. And so,
Okay.
I'm able to kind of just sit back and just relax when that happens. So, yeah.
I love it. So, oh, good for you. So, what else? When you look back in 2025, what were some other big, would you say, milestones or accomplishments for me is that you're proud of that you'd like to kind of celebrate? I know you had the big write up in the news, but that was fantastic. That was
Yeah,
excellent. I
so
still
that
have
was
that.
definitely a huge highlight. Being on
And
Fox
on the
6 with
news,
Brian
yeah,
Cramp was a huge highlight.
yeah,
I know
and being on This Week in
just
Waukesha a
recent,
couple times too.
yeah. I know recently there will be another article with the Freeman coming out, I think this week.
Mhm.
And then also, I'm not sure where exactly this is going, but I know TMJ4 has also been slated to do something as well with us. They
Very
may
nice.
or may not be at the Festivus event, but we're still kind of working
Okay,
out how that's going to work out logistically.
yeah,
I would say, my other biggest hallmark flagship achievement that we've done this year was my massive 20 foot table that I have in my bar room, which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
was an incredible project.
Sure,
It was very quickly put together right in October, just before my October event.
yeah,
And the funny thing is, this table has been planned for, I think the first year that I started here, I said, I really need a big table in here. And I just couldn't figure out how to get it done. And then I tried to build it myself the first
yeah,
time, spent a
yeah.
lot of money. It was a complete and utter
Right.
failure. And I said, okay, well,
Yeah.
we're going to have to do it again. And then I tackled it this year. It took me
Right.
about 12 hours to put it together on a Sunday night, and we closed half the restaurant down.
Wow.
And myself and my staff, we all, pitched in, and it's about 780 pounds, and it was built into the room. So good luck getting it out. But it is a staple now to the restaurant. It
Yeah.
is a symbol of community and togetherness, and it reminds people that while they come and sit at that table, that they're strangers, but they should
Yeah,
be leaving as friends. So
sure.
it's a cool concept, and people seem to really enjoy it. And yeah,
Nice. Oh, that's great. So, what have you been doing for fun, Bo? I mean, it's been a while since we talked, so this is we're also kind of catching up here.
goodness. I've been painting again.
That's right.
That's right. I've been painting again.
And for the benefit of our listeners, Bo, the reason for the Bob Ross themed dinner is that Bob Ross was a hero of yours as a young child.
That's
You'd watch
right. Yeah.
TV in your
Yeah.
room when you were limited to the three channels, right? And
Yeah.
PBS. So, but what a
That's right.
great
I
what a
was. It
great
was.
role model to have as a youth,
It was the Create TV
So,
channel. I just had
yeah,
just one
yeah,
channel, and that's what I watched. But I painted portraits, which really isn't what Bob Ross did. But
yeah. He
he
was
was
more
just so
landscapes, right?
yeah, he was so calming and soothing that it was kind of nice to have in the background.
Yeah. I got
And I would
I got to
paint
tell you,
portraits.
when my kids were younger, one of my pastimes was with crayons, doing lands. You could do some really fun landscapes with crayons, and I remember like showing my wife. She's like, "Wow, that's really good." And but it is very therapeutic. So yeah, well, I can't wait to see some. Maybe would you be willing to hang some of that up in your restaurant if you
I
see it
had
from?
considered it because
Yeah,
some of my art style is, and I go pretty hard at it. It's a bit of a process. I'm an oil painter, but I paint in the style of the Baroque.
okay. I was going to ask
Uh,
you about
yeah,
genre. Yeah,
yeah, kind of a Baroque Dutch impressionism and stuff. So I make all of my canvases.
yeah,
I keep it pretty traditional. I stretch them all. I use rabbit skin glue to size them, and then
yeah,
I've even gone as far as making my own paints, which can be quite a process. But
yeah.
and what it actually turns
So
out to be cheaper for those that are trying to get into art themselves. Making your own canvases are not only cheaper, but they're usually way better quality.
yeah.
And I can go in unlimited sizes when I do that. So usually when I do that,
Wow.
I do
You
two and
make
a
your
half
own
feet.
canvases. Wow, that's cool.
I usually do 2.5 feet by 4 or 5 or 6 feet.
Yeah.
So it gets, you know,
So, Bo, I've got an idea. I think you said you have all of your themed dinners booked throughout 2026, or no?
they're not booked, but I just haven't put them on yet. I
Well,
know our first one is going to be a prime rib pop up
sick.
in
February.
February on
Okay, good.
February 9th. And then
Okay.
I think
So,
also there's going to be a Shakespearean themed dinner, Shakespearean romance on February 16th. And as of right now, that's the only one I'm going to release. But in January, I will be releasing the first 6 months of the year.
Bo, when you shall die,
That's right.
we're gonna take you and cut you out into little stars,
Perfect. I love it. Hang
so
me
that
up.
all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish. I'm sorry, I could go on with Shakespeare, but no. Talking about art, it gave me an idea for a themed dinner if there's space, if not 2027, but and we will do it in person first. Is we go down, we road trip to Chicago, and we do the Art Institute,
Sure.
but then we do that whole Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and
There
that
you go.
becomes your themed dinner. Like you'd have to have like Vienna beef hot dogs. We'd have to have a fine dining thing with sausage with Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago.
Yeah, you have to, the
We'd
sausage
have to
king of
figure out which
Chicago. Come
restaurant
on
that was
now.
for sure. Yeah, we'd really have to make it have like a really fun little
You know,
Chicago.
that's actually a really good idea. I'll give one more hint. We will be doing the labyrinth as well.
Okay,
But I didn't even think of Ferris Bueller. Maybe
yeah,
2027. We did prophesize whether or not we were going to do a Jackson Pollock event.
there. Oh yeah,
Um, we ended up passing on it.
that
There's
could be a
just
bit much. Yeah,
so many ideas.
yeah.
But
Do a
um,
Kerouac one instead, Jack Kerouac. That could be cool.
yeah, I can't remember if we actually have an artist or not.
Yeah. You'll have to start a committee. So, anyway, we
Yeah,
have
there you
one
go.
minute left. What else do you want your listeners to know about things to do at Mia's and in downtown during the holidays that they
Well,
can't miss?
as always, right now you can come see me at the bar and most nights at Mia's. We are doing all 1920s cocktails, having a good time with that. Of course, in
Mhm.
January, we will be coming out with a whole new batch of 1920s cocktails, and we're really proud of that. Right now, we're the only place in downtown Waukesha that makes high crafted cocktails, and so
Very
we're really
cool.
proud of that. That's probably one of my biggest things that I'm proud of here. Our
Sure.
state, of course, will be pumping out those garlic breads, those pizzas.
That's
Definitely a
very
lot of
cool.
new things coming to the restaurant as well. Some new
Okay.
decorations. We are looking at a few build out opportunities that are happening, and then
Fabulous.
of course, when Friday Night Live hits, we'll be right back here in this same space with you to describe what's happening with that.
That sounds great. I can't wait. And then we owe you a visit. We got to come in real soon, especially
Oh yeah.
for Festivus. So, and
I believe I saw that you're
Um,
coming, so
I want to
you'll
thank
be.
you again. Yeah. Yep, we'll be there. So, thanks for all that you do for Downtown Waukesha and for the continuing success of your business. I want to thank everybody for listening in. Please remember, and I want to thank my producer, the mighty Max Martinson, and all of us for continuing to act locally, think globally. Please remember especially during the holiday season, that safety is everyone's responsibility. Good mental health is everybody's right. Gora Mila Mahagav Galer, and see ya.